So welcome to a new year. I can't believe we're in 2022 already. That came around far too quickly. But we're here, and this year I really want to bring enthusiasm and a sense of real deep growth and expansion for everyone. We've been living in quite a intense few years, and I think we all need to feel that real deep sense of joy again, and we can really utilize and get so much from our practice when we drop deeper into our bodies, into the space that our mat holds for us and the space that we hold for ourselves. So this practice is for you to really just rest, start the year rested, start the year with a really nice positive mindset. And the combination of both sound and yin is so transformational because we really drop deep into the subconscious part of the brain. And this is where we can really let go of anything that's causing us a lot of anxiety, of doubt, worry, fear. And we can drop into a very calm space in the nervous system. And I think we don't really realize how much this whole scenario has put so much stress on our bodies and our minds. And I think giving ourselves additional rest is so key and crucial at this point in our lives, just because we don't realize how much it's affecting us. We're still carrying on with life. And I think when we really take time to rest, to listen to music that's healing, of a resonance and a frequency that's actually bringing harmony into the body, we can shift so much, and we can really see big expansion in our lives because we're coming from a space that's calm, rested and harmonic. So that is my gift for you today, is to just hold that space for you to really find that sense of nourishment for yourself from your practice, and to find more enthusiasm, joy and expansion, so that we can start this year feeling high, lifted, positive as much as we can, and most importantly rested. So this practice is around the throat. I'm tapping into Udana Vayu, which means, if you're not familiar with that term, Udana is an upward movement and Vayu means wind. So Vayu that we're looking at is an ascension of energy upwards. So moving more into this expansiveness, this moving up into the higher mind, really looking at also how can we utilize our speech and grow more in the way that we communicate. So a lot of times we kind of hold back on the words that we want to use, and this limits really where we're able to manifest, because when we speak, we're able to communicate. So this is helping to just bring this sense of expression forth. And also when we're tapping into Udana Vayu, we're really looking at yes indeed, we're really looking at expanding in our spiritual growth too. So this practice is aimed at that and for that, and it's surrounding the throat, just so you know where we're going. And last point before we start, just make sure that you have comfortable space to rest onto, so any padding that you might need on your mat, blankets, cushions, bolster. If you have a couple of blankets, grab those. Maybe you might have some bricks as well, you can use books. Just grab some props to support your body, and also an eye mask or a light cloth for your eyes. Okay, so just find a nice comfortable seat. Ideally you want to bring your hips up higher than your knees, so grab something to sit onto. And then once you've found your seat, really ground down into your sit bones, feel them spreading nice and wide, and lengthen up into the crown of your head. So the spine is really long, you feel open through the vertebrae. And just rest the shoulders down the back, so you feel the shoulders drop. Finding more spaciousness just around the neck, around the throat. Take a moment to really drop into the space that you're in. To acknowledge what room you're in the house, the space surrounding you, what's in the room with you. And also just acknowledging the space that you take up. then with your eyes closed, just begin to visualize everything that's in front of your body. So noticing everything that's in the room and beyond the room in the front of your body. And then begin to visualize and remember what is behind your body. At the back of your body, remembering the space around you, behind you. And then go from front to back. Right, keep visualizing both the front and the back body, what's in front of you, what's behind you. And slowly allow those two images in your mind to merge. So you're feeling the space in front of you and the space behind you as one space. You may feel your body slightly moving or calibrating as you come to the central point. And then bring your awareness to the right hand side. So everything that's to the right side of your body, as far out as you can feel and remember. And then to the left hand side. What's in the room, what's past the room, what is in the space to your left hand side. And then go from right side, visualizing and remembering the right side of your body, what's there. And again to the left. To the right, the left side, and then allow those two to merge. Maybe again noticing your body finding its center. This is just helping you to really find that central point of your body, or the space that you occupy. And then lastly, bring your mind to what is above you. It's in your mind, visualizing, remembering what is above your head, above your body, as far up as you can remember. Gathering in all that information and then drop into beneath you, moving from air to more density, maybe a room beneath you, earth, and again finding your place in the middle of all that, going from above, remembering, to below, above, to below, and then allow those two to mix. And then all the directions, feel yourself central from the front, back, left and right, above and below. And just hold in that central point, feeling the spine tall and long and open. Feeling yourself really stable in your seat. And just gently bring your awareness to your breath. Noticing as you breathe, the belly expands, the rib cage expands all the way to the upper chest. Shoulders gently lift. And as you exhale, focus on pulling the navel back to the spine so the belly button squeezes the breath out. Not any struggle, strain or force, just acknowledgement of the muscles doing the work. Belly expands, rib cage expands all the way to the upper chest as you inhale the breath. And as you exhale, focus on the navel pulling back to the spine. A nice deep, full, rhythmic breath. Just feeling that lovely flow of oxygen, of prana moving in and out of the body. And as you breathe, really allowing yourself to feel that sense of grounding. Just coming back to the breath allows us to really acknowledge what's here, what is present. So take a moment to just scan through your body and notice if there's any areas that are really calling to your mind, any sensations that are arising or any discomfort maybe. Scan from your head to your feet, just taking stock of where your body's at. And when we can really tune in to where our body is, we can practice with compassion. Not overdoing it, not pushing ourselves too much. Or maybe really allowing ourselves to go to the edge of our practice today. But always coming from a balanced, calm, and compassionate mind. So we'll start with Nadi Shodena, just to bring some balance into the mind and into the energetic body also. So you can take your dominant hand up to your face, and we want to use the thumb and the ring finger to close the nostrils. So we'll have them rested just at the nose bridge, or just below the bridge of the nose, where the cartilage just finishes and the soft tissue begins. And you can rest down through the shoulder, rest the elbow. If it feels a little uncomfortable, just take your knee up to support, so your foot's flat to the floor. So just take a nice deep inhalation, I'll guide you through. And exhale out through both nostrils. Close off the right nostril and inhale through the left. 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. Close the left nostril, hold the breath in for 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. Close the left, exhale through the right for 10, 2, nice slow controlled breath out, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We'll do that on this side. So as you inhale, breathe for 5 through the right, 2, 3, 4, 5. Close the nostrils, hold the breath in for 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep the right nostril closed, exhale through the left for 10, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nice slow breath out. Focus on the navel pulling back to the spine. 9, 10. Inhale through the left for 5. So you really feel the belly, the chest expanding and opening. Nice slow breath in. Hold the breath in, closing both nostrils for a count of 5. So in this point, we want to really calm the mind. Feel a sense of real effortlessness. Keep the left nostril closed and exhale out through the right for 10. Really, really slow the breath down. Keep it nice and smooth and as silent as you can. And you're feeling the navel pull back to the spine, really pushing the breath out. Inhale again through that right nostril for 5. Hold the breath in, closing both nostrils for a count of 5. And then keeping the right nostril closed, exhale through the left for 10. We're just going a few more rounds in that way. You're inhaling next round through the left for 5. Hold the breath in for 5, and then exhale through the right for 10. Then again, inhale through the right for 5, hold the breath in for 5, and exhale out the left for 10. If it's feeling a little bit too much to hold the breath in the middle, you can omit that and just breathe in for 5 and out for 10. Let's go at your own pace, nice slow controlled breaths, just taking your time. Just taking a final round. So the next time you exhale out the left side, you can just release your hands down. Take your time, no need to rush at all. Just finishing the round that you're on. Final breath out is through the left nostril exhale. Once you finish that round, just releasing your arms and just take a moment to breathe naturally once again. There's an energizing breath. As we hold the breath in, it really allows the body to build energy, build prana. But as we exhale for 10, that really slow, long exhale keeps us super grounded, stable and calm. So it's a sense of vibrancy, but grounded. Nice. So when you're ready, just gently blink open your eyes and we can move into our fresh shape, which is going to be a little bit of movement. And we want to come over to all fours. So just take your time to stretch out the legs if you need to and come to an all fours position. Hands under the shoulders, knees underneath your hips. Take a nice wide stable base. So keep the chin gently tucking towards the chest so the back of the neck stays nice and long. Take an inhale here. Now as you exhale, sink the hips back so you're pushing away from the hands to come into child's pose. As you inhale, come back up to all fours and we're just moving in that motion. Your exhale is coming back into child's pose and really stretch the tailbone down towards the heels, lengthen the arms, keeping chin tucked to chest. Just a few more, inhaling up to all fours, and then exhaling back. Feel a nice length in the back of the waist, back of the neck. Just taking 2 more through. So the next time you come back to child's pose, we can pause there. So you may like to take some extra prop in. Maybe you want to bring a block underneath your head to elevate the floor to you. Or maybe it feels quite nice to take a bolster or some cushions underneath your belly, your chest, and you can rest your arms down, maybe even turning your head to one direction. We're going to be here for 4 minutes, so just find a position that really lets you rest. You may also want to take some blanket or cushion behind the back of the knee, just to maybe add some padding or open the knee joint a little if you have anything going on there, or to support the ankle. So there's no harm in using props. We really want to make sure the body is supported and comfortable. Please always add as much as you need to. Use what you have, and if it feels that you need to take the knees a little bit wider as well to give your belly a little bit more space to breathe, you can do that. And if it feels nice to take the hands around to the heels, you can rest your shoulders, so that's also an option. Really want to breathe into the belly here and let all of your body weight just drop. So focus is at creating length in the spine. So even the spine, all the way up to the base of the skull, especially the neck. So maybe it's just finding a very gentle tuck of chin to chest to lengthen out. Or maybe it's even just relaxing the shoulders down the back a little more. So in Yin, we hold the postures for a little bit longer than we usually do in a flow class, just to allow the body to really sink into what it is that we're offering it. And as we pause and hold and wait, we just observe. So we're always coming from that space of observation. We're always witnessing what is arising, experiencing what the body is going through, and knowing that we are the seer. We're the consciousness behind the body that watches, views, experiences everything that happens in the body. So always pay attention to anything that your body's requiring. And you're always free to come out of the shape early if you need to. You can always modify, adjust. If something's not feeling too good or right, really ask yourself, is this my mind telling me I need to come out, or is this my body telling me to come out? What am I experiencing here? So just have 1 more minute left. Time goes quite quick once we get into it. So just take a final round of breath here. And then you can slowly and very, very gently start to pad yourself back to sit onto the heels, or you can slowly lift up the hips to come to an all fours position or a downward facing dog. Lifting the hips up and back, maybe taking a little pedal out through the legs, wherever you are. So in our rebound, which is what we're in now, this just gives the body a little bit of time to come back into a really neutral position. So if there's anything that your body is really asking you to do, please feel free to move in whatever way, or to just pause and hold and wait. Always listening again to what your body is asking of you and what it needs. So just take one more breath here. And then when you're ready, we're moving into a lunge. So if you have sensitive knees, please do bring some cushioning or a blanket underneath your knee. We're stepping forward first with the right foot. So you may want to use a bolster or a cushion to support the back knee, to support the back thigh. And then option to keep the hands to the floor or bring the hands to some blocks. Or you can lift up more and push away from that front thigh. So there's a few options, but we're working again to keep the spine long and focusing on keeping the chin very gently tucking towards the chest. Keep the back of the neck long. So wherever you feel today is the most benefit of the stretch, we're working to open the left thigh, so the front of the left thigh, the whole way up that left side body, keeping the chest open, but also focusing on keeping a nice long open spine. Energy is lifting up and out. Nice, so we're here for just 2 minutes on each side. About 30 seconds or so in already. If you feel that in a few rounds of breath it's beneficial to lift that back knee off the floor, you can do that if your hands are grounded on the floor at the front of your mat. If that helps to just increase the stretch in the left thigh. Just an option. Just here for the last minute. As we breathe and we really feel into what's arising, it gives us time to really process. Our lives are quite fast, and especially living in London, the energy here is very, very fast. So yin is crucial for us to really process, to rest, to find space, to acknowledge, and to really listen to our bodies. So we can come out of this right side. Just shift your hips back first, and then you can slowly bring your hands to the floor, step your right leg back, and switch over sides, taking your left foot forward. Take any props that you might need on this side, set yourself up in whichever variation of lunge feels good for you. And then feel that stretch in your right thigh this time, up the whole right side of the body at the front, and also in the spine, keeping the neck as your focal point, lengthening the energy up and out through the crown of the head. Keeping the breath nice and smooth and balanced. So our breath is also a really key indicator of how we're doing. So if the breath is effortless, is easeful, it's graceful, it's smooth, it's silent, we know we're in really safe territory. But if the breath is ever really struggling or forceful, then we know that we're pushing ourselves a little bit too much. So always keep an ear out and tune into the breath, acknowledge what's going on there too. Just the last minute to go. Keep lengthening up and out, sending our energy up. Nice, just last couple of breaths here. You can shift the hips back, slowly come out, pad your hands back and step back. Move any props out to this side. And just sit back onto the heels, take a moment here. Really feel into the front of the body and the spine, feel into the neck. And that sense of energy moving upwards. So just coming back over onto all fours, we're working into thread the needle, which is a twisted position. So you want your knees as wide as your hips, so a nice wide stable base of your knees. And then take your right hand slightly further towards the top of your mat. We're going to thread the left arm underneath that gap and then bring the side of the head to the floor. So your right hand can either stay in front of the face and act as a post, or you can take your right hand to the top of your mat. So you've got that nice length in the side body and arm. Or if you want to focus more on the twisting action, you can thread your right hand around to your sacrum or to the top of the left thigh. If you feel like the weight is really in your neck, you want to just push the weight back a little bit so the hips stay stacked over your knees. And you may also want to use a blanket underneath the head if you feel that it's going to give you a little bit more support for the neck. So this one is working to really twist and turn the neck. Jules, if your elbow is feeling a little bit intense here, or if anybody else feels like it's a little bit too much, just sink the hips back so you sit back onto your heels again, and then you can thread the arm through that way and take a cushion or a rolled up blanket to support your head, and then there's no weight on that arm as much as it is when you're in thread the needle. Just here for 2 more minutes. So you want to really feel the spine draping in this one, like almost like the Christmas tree lights draping in the middle, and feel the length still in your spine, all the way up to the base of your skull. So you're keeping that long spine going all the way up to the neck. Maybe feeling again the chin gently tuck into the chest. So you get that space in just those few vertebrae at the top of the neck. And let the breath really move into the belly. So this inversion again is also bringing more energy upwards. Even though we're upside down, the energy is still moving up. So when we invert the body, we stimulate Udana Vayu, that upward ascending movement, that wind. And this helps to really bring a sense of enthusiasm, inspiration to the mind. So just take a final couple breaths here. Nice, and then to come out, bring your right hand down again in front of the face, push into that right hand, and as you inhale, slowly lift up, de-rotate, come back through to center. Just take a moment to pause here. If you need to make any adjustments through the legs or take a little wiggle through the shoulders, please feel free to. And then we can go to the opposite side. So we're taking the left hand a little bit more towards the top of the mat, and then threading the right arm into that gap underneath the arm. Twist and turn to the left side and then place the head down. Again, if you need to bring the floor up, do that. And I'm taking the left arm to the top of your mat, keeping it there as it is in the post position, or threading the hand round to your lower back. Just taking a couple more breaths here. And then again, when you're ready, bring the left hand in front of the face this time, push into that hand, and as you inhale, slowly come up, come back to either sit onto the heels or come to all fours. Just taking a moment just to rebound here. So if it feels helpful to close the eyes and really draw inward, keeping the eyes closed, just tuning on into what's going on around the throat area, around the upper back, around the shoulders, maybe even into the mind. Nice. From here, we can tuck the toes under. So just walk yourself back and then lift up through the knees, roll back onto the heels. And we're coming into a dangling position. So you want to keep your knees nice and bent so your belly can rest onto your thighs, and then just let your head drop. So you can either hold gently around the back of the head and just let the weight of the elbows drop towards the floor, or you can hold on to the biceps and let your head rest in between. If that's too strong for anybody, you can work in a forward folded position. So you can take the legs out in front of you, support the knees as much as you need to, and work to just fold forward. If you have a wall space as well, you can also rest your sit bones against the wall and lean back into your sit bones. So you're using the support of the wall to forward fold. I'm just here for another minute, not too long in these ones. But again, stimulating the movement of the wind, the energy upwards, so into that inverted position. If you need to come out, if you feel that it's a little bit too much, always come out slightly earlier. And to come out, you can either come into a squat or come to standing. Just here for another 30 seconds or so. If you're standing in a free position without the use of the wall, you can maybe take a few sways side to side if that feels nice, or even bob forward and back, just to release any tension out of the spine. Just the last few breaths here. So to come out, you can either come out the same way we went in, so coming down to all fours or to a squat, or if you feel that it's nice to slowly roll up to a standing position, you can do that. Just taking a moment to come into a rebound, either coming into a squat here, or knees to the floor, sit back to the heels, all fours, standing, just allowing your body to come into neutral again. Okay, so from here, we can move into legs up the wall position. So if you have a wall space, you can grab either a cushion, or you can use a nice thick rolled up blanket, or if you have a bolster, you can take that. And we want to bring that up to the wall. If you haven't got a wall, I'll show you something else you can do in a second. It's very similar, but just without a wall. Bring yourself as close up to the wall space as you can. And then you want to take your legs up, shuffle yourself in as much as you can, and then lift yourself up onto a bolster blanket and just shuffle yourself down. If you're really, really close to the wall, it's going to be a bit more strong of a stretch on your hamstrings. And the further away you are from the wall, it's a little bit less intense. You can also work with your feet flat on the wall if that feels nicer. If you can, having legs straight up, and then arms can either just rest out onto the pillow, maybe out to the side in more of a T shape, or if you wanted to bring more flow up towards the lungs, take the arms up over your head. So either straight, or you can hold onto the elbows if you haven't got much space. And then if you haven't got a wall space, you just want to grab either a block or a cushion or your blanket. We're going to come into the middle of the mat. Let your body lay down. And then bring your hips up, so you're in a bridge position. And then bring that block underneath your lower back. And then just take your legs straight up. And if you let your legs kind of come in a little bit towards you, they'll stay as they are without you having to hold them. So you just let them roll into where they kind of stop. And again, if that's too much for anybody, it should feel very nice. But if it's a little bit too much for anybody, you can work into a forward fold again. So prop yourself, take as much as you need to support your body. And then just fold over. So we're here for a little bit longer. We're going to be here for 7 minutes. So just find a position that really lets you rest into it. So when we take the legs up over the heart, it gives the heart a rest. It lets the body just gently pump blood back down without any struggle on the heart at all. And it allows us to have a nice flush of energy through the kidneys. The chi and blood moves back down and gives the kidneys a good flush through. And we're also flipping the energy in our body. So we're now moving into this upward movement of energy. That again is stimulating Udana Vayu. I'm just going to leave you to rest for the next 5 minutes. And come out if you need to, and stay, just enjoy it.
Just taking the last couple of breaths here. And then if you have your legs up the wall, you can slowly slide your feet down the wall and bring your knees into the chest. Just give yourself a little hug for a moment there. If you have your legs up but you're in the middle of the room or of your mat, you can bring your feet down to the floor, lift your hips up, move any props out to the side, and then bring your knees into your chest slowly and just pause there. If you're over by the wall space, just slowly roll off to the side and you can bring the prop from underneath you out of the way and just make your way a little bit further away from the wall and just roll off to the side and pause on your side. And then when you're ready, if you were by the wall space, just slowly bringing yourself back to the middle. If you were in a forward fold or any other variation, just come into the middle of your mat and lay down onto your back, hug your knees into the chest. You can either hold around the shins or around the backs of the thighs. And if it feels nice, you can take a few rocks side to side. Just take your time, no fast rush movements. Just a couple more postures left. We're moving into bridge from here, so you can take a support underneath your back. Maybe that is a bolster or a cushion, or if you have a block, you can use the block to bring a little bit more height. So when I bring the feet to the floor, so the knees are bent, just lift your hips up and bring whatever support it is that you're using underneath your hips. If you're using a block, there's 3 settings. So lowest setting is flat, second setting is up, more rectangular, and then third setting, which is quite high, is the long edge, lifted. And you want to bring it right underneath the sacrum, so the big flat bony part right at the base of your spine, so that's before the tailbone. You want to feel the whole back of the pelvis is nice and supported, and it might feel nice to just take a little rock side to side so you feel your pelvis is nice and supported into the cushion or prop. And have your feet about as wide as your hips, as wide as the mat, if it feels comfortable. And you can rest your arms either beside your hips, or you can again take your arms up over the head. You want to feel that slight tuck of the chin in towards the chest, the length in the back of your neck. And just feeling the breath moving more into the chest area. So as you inhale, the chest and the rib cage expands. So you're breathing all the way through and around the heart. So just here for another 3 minutes, 4 minutes in total. So as we target and move more energy around the throat, we're tapping into throat chakra. And we're really looking at all the ways that we communicate in the world, through the words that we use, through how much we can express our heart's needs and desires. Are we able to express our creativity? Are we able to express our truth? And when we're faced with an inability to express, or we feel that kind of confusion or inability to really say what we need, say what we mean, say how we feel, there's a stagnancy or a limitation, a blockage in this chakra. So by practicing and moving energy around this space, we're really awakening that energy, that ability to express ourselves, to be heard, to be seen in the world. And if we don't speak, if we keep our truth, our words in, that really does limit and inhibit our growth. And if we're not growing, if we're staying the same, we may be prone to more sense of indecision, weakness, maybe even feeling stagnant. So Udana Vayu is here to really bring that enthusiasm, that ability to grow and expand, and to bring us that sense of inspiration back, or just to boost that sense of inspiration. So we're taking a final round of breath here. And just taking your time to move the hips slightly higher up, to move any props out to the side, and then allow yourself to gently roll down. So the spine comes down to the floor, the hips down to the floor. And you can keep the feet flat to the mat and just take some sways of the knees side to side. So like windshield wipers, swaying side to side. And then once again, you can hug the knees into the chest. So just drawing the knees in, hold around the back of the thighs or around the knees themselves, or around the shins. And just massaging out gently by rocking side to side, but tune into the back of the pelvis. So just massaging across from one side of the pelvis to the other. And then you can move your hands either to the knees or around the backs of the knees and circle the knees in opposite directions. So you're taking the hands in opposite directions and making nice big circles through your hip joint. Just releasing anything here. And just pause in the center, give yourself a nice big squeeze, lifting the head, neck, shoulders off of the mat and squeezing yourself small. And then place your head down, roll off to one side. And then just lifting yourself up to a seat. Nice. Okay. So from here, we're moving into Shavasana, but I just wanted to make sure that you're propped. So take a bolster underneath the back of your knees, or some cushions, a blanket underneath the back of your head, so you've got a nice support for your neck. And if you wanted to elevate your feet, which is quite nice, you can take
some blocks or cushions underneath your feet. And grab a blanket, make sure that you're nice and warm, and anything to cover your eyes as well. If you wanted headphones as well, please feel free to grab some headphones. So first of all, just get yourself really comfortable so that your body is supported as best as you can. And just begin to let your body drop any holding. The muscles are feeling heavier. And in that heaviness, really allowing yourself to spread. So your body weight feels supported. You can really let go into that support. Your muscles feel soft and rested as you're laid down. Really allow yourself to take up space. So your arms and legs are spread. Spine feels long and open. Your hands and feet rested and relaxed. All of the muscles in the face rested and relaxed. And gently coming back into the rhythm of your breath. Just noticing as you inhale, your belly expands and opens. Rib cage widens and the breath flows all the way to the upper chest. And as you exhale, the belly button sinks back to the spine. And just feeling the breath like a wave, effortless, expansive. The body just breathing by itself. No effort required.
Just very, very gradually and gently begin to come back to the space that you're in, back to your body, back into awareness of your breath. And just gently breathe in deeply into the belly, slowly energizing your body again. Just taking your time to come back into the space, back into conscious awareness. And just sitting for a moment to really feel into anything that's present in your awareness. And just allowing yourself to really feel anything that's arising. And taking your time to
Gently and slowly begin to move your fingers and toes again, just energizing yourself as you feel more and more awake. And when you feel ready to, you can take some bigger movements, maybe some sighs, yawns, stretches, anything that feels intuitively good for your body. Very, very gently. And whenever you feel ready to, you can roll off to the side. And just pause on your side for a moment or two, just enjoying that in between. Bring your mind back into awareness, back into motion. And then whenever you feel ready to, just gently bring yourself up to a comfortable seated position. You can keep your eyes closed if possible. And keep your energy awareness internal. And just finding again a connection of sit bones to earth or to prop. Nice long open spine. And then bringing hands to prayer at your heart. Take a nice deep breath into the heart space. And as you exhale, just bowing down in gratitude to yourself for taking this time to show up, to practice, to connect back with yourself, with your body, and to just rest. I'm really offering gratitude to the practice of yoga and sound. Maybe really start this year on a positive, enthusiastic, and inspirational mindset so we can really pull that energy through 2022 to ourselves and to our work and to those around us. And just bowing your head down to yourself. In gratitude and reverence, we say namaste. Namaste. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming to practice and start the year together. So lovely to really share this space.